Hey everyone, how we doing? Today we're going to be working on a technique, and I disagree with using chromatic exercises and I guess shapes and patterns that you're not going to use in your actual playing when practicing technique. Just turning my phone off, make sure we're not disturbed. I'd much rather use transcriptions and licks and something that I'm actually going to use when I play, or want to try and use when I play. So this week I've been working on Pennies From Heaven, the Stan Getz version. I've got one more day to try and squeeze a little more out of this transcription before I move on. So far I think I've done a couple of minutes, so the head and then maybe a chorus or two. So in this session I'm just going to work on trying to emulate his sound as much as possible, that really laid back, relaxed feel, and beautiful melodic lines, and trying to get as much of that in my essence rather than just my memory. You know, if I'm playing through what I've transcribed already, often you're like, oh yeah, and then it's this phrase, and then it's this phrase. So what I want to start happening is getting to that place where your fingers just do what they need to do and you can sit back and let that happen. I think that's when the melodic ideas and the way he's articulating the harmony, that's when they're going to seep into your soul, into your playing, as much as they can. So I'm just going to take it from the top. I've tuned up and warmed up a little bit, but I have still got this horrible neck pain and just eaten the biggest sack of sweet potato fries. So I don't know if I'm going to be moving quite as fast as I should be, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so I felt pretty comfortable on the head. Just so classy. I just love Stan Getz's playing. His phrasing is so just on the money. Just everything is so beautifully lined up, apart from my entrance to the first chorus. So I'm going to take it from there, because obviously melody is a bit more straightforward technically. So this is when we're going to start to run into some areas that might cause some technical difficulties, not just some kind of memory issues. So here we go. That is a beautiful line, and one that I have stolen already this week. The kind of moving through the that kind of one, and then a flat three diminished. I was having some real trouble with that earlier this week, and so I stole that lick and manipulated that a lot. Having said that, I still can't duplicate it exactly, because it runs into quite a long, nice section. So I'm going to see if I can remember that, get up to speed, and then go back to the recording. feel the more and more I relax, the less it's stable. If I'm really aware, okay, I'm going to get this right, it's there. But the more I relax, the less in there it is. But the nicer my feel is, the smoother the quavers are. So yeah, that's really something to pursue. So I'm going to sit with this a little bit longer and see if I can really chill and let it happen. On that same line of thought, even my technique starts to get a little bit sloppier when I really relax. But that's the way I see it, is I'm kind of teaching my intuition how to play guitar. But if I'm there consciously playing guitar, then my intuition never gets a chance to learn. So I'm trying to allow myself to make mistakes, basically allow my intuition to make mistakes so that it can get better, rather than my conscious mind trying to stay in control of everything all the time. A massive lunch actually is quite helping with this, because I really want to be in a food coma right now. So this is probably exactly what I need to be doing. If I can simultaneously be in a food coma and do some really disciplined practice, I'm smashing it. Such a good line. Okay, I mean, up till then, it was some kind of bluesy licks. Actually, let's go back. I'll go back to the beginning of the solo and see if I can get through that section. Just so good. What did I do? Oh yeah, it's chromatic. Right, same again. That pause feels so good to have I mean, I don't know, this is a live recording. Maybe he was talking to the drummer or something, but to have that length of pause in a solo, especially when it's like a 165 going back to the top of the head, when everyone has got so much language and so much they can say over that progression, to just lay back and just be like, no, I'm just going to come in 4 bars. That's wicked. Like, it really, really makes you listen as a listener as well. So by playing kind of complete solos or complete choruses in this way, you really do pick up a lot of observe little bits of class, because obviously you're transcribing the people that you really want to sound like. You're really able to see how they build these solos and how they just exude who they are. Probably the heroin helps as well, but who knows. So how does that lick go? Cool. Is that right? Yeah. Cool. I think it's back to the top because there were a couple of little shaky bits. This bit, yeah. This lick I've also already stolen as well. Genius. So nice. So it's like a 1 going to making the 1 a 5 going for 4. Oops. Do it again. Allowing my eyes to glaze over, that food coma roll on. Cool. Sweet potato heroin, really digging in. Okay, I'm going to go back to the top of that solo and see if I can get as far as we got. Such a good lick. I did think this was going to cause me trouble at some point because it's quite difficult. I find it quite hard to articulate. It's not difficult, it's hard to articulate. even slower. Yeah, good bit of inside, outside picking, string skipping, all sorts. Maybe how Galpert always talks about kind of going into this meditative state, playing whatever it is you want to play, and then dropping hands off the instrument and then bringing them back. It's kind of the opposite of what I was just doing, so maybe I'll try a bit of that and see if that helped kind of cement the idea. Maybe it stops you getting into a conscious rut. You know? If you're kind of ready and have everything in the right place, you know, and you know everything is in the right place, then maybe there's that never happens on a gig, right? You never have every phrase. You're not kind of there waiting, unless you're Bill Evans. He was always there. You know, he was never far from where the next note he needed to play. But generally, for most of us, it's going to be a little bit of. So this is quite a good way to eliminate relying on that sort of thing. I definitely noticed more technical errors. So maybe that just means I need to slow down more. If I'm doing this, especially, take it real slow. Maybe that could be seen as like my real speed limit rather than a speed limit when I'm just repeating it over and over and over again. Straight back in to about 40 beats a minute faster. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I'm also trying to think, maybe it's, I think you could play devil's advocate and say, well, you're actually trying to focus on this one technical element. So you do want to be, honing everything, making everything as perfect as possible. Anytime I've asked anyone who I really respect, kind of, should I practice this way or that way? The answer has always been both. So I've stopped asking. do feel very loose, which is what I'm after, really. So yeah, maybe just the benefits are, you might not see them so quickly because you're doing it less. You can repeat it less times in a minute if you're taking a break between each repetition. Then that also ties in with Haugauper's thing. Haugauper's thing is kind of like play it, get it in your ears, sing it really loudly in your head, and then play it again. So maybe you could do a bit of both. You take your hand off the instrument, hear it in your head, bring your hand back. That's pretty damn good. Not gonna lie, felt great. Try again. I mean, yeah, I didn't feel like I was trying, felt loose. Try it again. Wow, Hal. Nailed it. You and Kenny should get together. Okay, I'm going to go from the top of the solo again and see if I can get any further. No? Just another beautiful little theme. Maybe I'll take it back to that pause because I didn't quite hit that the way I would have liked after that long pause. Here we go, somewhere in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I love this lick. This is so good. Or this phrase, sorry, not a lick. It's not a lick until I steal it and repeat it. This phrase, if I can repeat this. Not quite. Come on. Oh, sorry. I'll see if I can remember it. Okay, no, I don't remember. Let's put the cursor here so I remember. Right. Come just so good. Like, just got all that kind of beautiful, bluesy, bebop-y, melodic. Yes, all the flavorings, all the good bits. Okay. Here we go again. I think that's right. Sweet. I'm going to go back to the long pausey bit and see if I can tack that lick on the end. Phrase, not lick. I don't know where I am in the bar. Everything goes planned. Right. I'm going to try and practice this again, but with kind of rubbery, loose fingers. I definitely felt that as I was coming into that phrase, I was like, oh yeah, I need to play this right. And the fingers were like stiff. So I'm going to actually try and practice using kind of floppy fingers to see if that'll force me to have to know this to a point of relaxation rather than just recalling it. Yes, not so good. Okay, with the track. Okay, I transcribed a bit more than that, but I'm going to run out of time. So I'm going to try and take it from the top. See if any of that has sunk in. So clearly from the goal I had originally of kind of really having this in a deep subconscious level, like it's not happened. There's going to be bits of it that are, and I've managed to steal other bits and put them through 12 keys, and I've had the process of transcribing. So the process of getting, from a recording into my ears onto the guitar, which is all really valuable stuff. But trying to do a transcription a week and a tune a week, I think it's a really good idea, and I think it's I just wish there was more hours in the day, basically. So I think a lot of these things, if I get off this tune a week binge, maybe I will kind of revisit a lot of these transcriptions, a lot of these pieces, and do some more work on them, or just learn some more. I mean, there's so many good solos to take from. But anyway, so I think a week is a bit short, but then hopefully my transcription process is going to get better and quicker, and my technique is going to get better, and my recall is going to get better. So, maybe 4 or 5 weeks down the line, I'll be able to get a lot further with each transcription, and by getting further, I can also get more out of it. Or maybe I can limit each one to 2 choruses, which would give me a set kind of a limit to how much material I'm transcribing, so that material I can learn deeper. Whatever. I'll have a think about what to do next. But this is Pennies from Heaven. Well, up until then, I was actually feeling really comfortable, and I had a few moments where my friend, a really good pianist, he talks about having the devil on his shoulder, and spending most of some concerts just talking to that devil, being like, stop trying to put me off, leave me alone. And I definitely had a bit of that. I had some really joyous moments, really where I was just enjoying the music. Sometimes where I was getting distracted, looking outside, and other times where I had that inward chat of like, oh, I'm going to make a mistake. I might make a mistake here. This is quite a hard bit. But all of that is kind of, I kind of don't mind that inner devil thing, because the fact that I didn't make a mistake means that my conscious brain is completely somewhere else, having a conversation with some imaginary figure, and my fingers are still doing the job. So that means that maybe I have absorbed this on a deeper level than I thought. It's just this one lick phrase that I haven't nailed yet. So I'm going to leave you here, because our time is now, and I'm going to sit and maybe spend a few more minutes going over this last little bluesy phrase that I love so much. I will speak to you soon.